Hello, and welcome to .NET Builds. This is the second part of our series where we're building a clone of the YouTube Studio app. In the last video, we set up our project, created our tab bar, added in our pages, and built the title bar for the app. In this video, we'll build the UI for our dashboard page. If you enjoy the video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. So back in our project, we'll head over to the dashboard.xaml file. If we take one more look at our reference, we can see that a grid would work well as the base layout for this part of the screen. So we'll remove the label and add a scroll view and set its padding to 15. Inside the scroll view, we'll add our grid. We'll specify 4 columns of equal width and 5 rows, with the last row taking up the remaining space. We'll set the row spacing property to 15 and the column spacing property to 5. Now we can begin adding the controls. We'll add our circular profile image the same way we did in the title view. So we'll head back to the appshell.xaml file, copy our border with the image, and paste it inside the grid. We'll change the width and height request values to 80, remove the margin, and set the radius for our round rectangle to 40. We'll also remove the grid.column setting as we want the image to be in the first column, which is the default. Next, we'll add a vertical stack layout and set its grid.column value to 1. We'll set the column span to 3, so it takes up the space of the remaining 2 columns. We'll add a spacing of 4 and a padding of 10 on the left side. Inside the stack layout, we'll add a label for our channel name, set its font size to medium, and make it bold. We'll add a second label for the subscriber count, set its font size to large, and also make it bold. And lastly, we'll add a label with the text, Total Subscribers. If we check the app, we can see that it looks good. Back in our dashboard page, we'll add the label that says Channel Analytics, set its grid.row to 1, and set its grid.column span to 2. We'll make it bold and give it a font size of medium. We'll also add another label, set the text to last 28 days, and also place it in the second row. We'll set this label's grid.column to 2 and also give it a column span of 2. We'll set the horizontal options to end so that it's right aligned and center it vertically. Now we can work on this part of the UI that contains these cards. So we'll add a border and place it in the third row. We'll set its column span to 2. Inside our border, we'll add a vertical stack layout with 2 label controls. We'll set the text property on the first one to views and set the text color to different shades of gray for light and dark mode. For the second label, we'll set the text value to a random number, set the font size to large, and make it bold. We'll copy and paste our border for the second card and set the grid.column property to 2 for this one. Then, we'll set the text for the first label to watch time hours and also change the text for the second label to a random number. Now, if we take a look at what we've done in the app, we can see our cards, but you'll notice that the layout is a little off. Looking at the code, we can see what the issue is. The Channel Analytics label and everything below it should be below of our first vertical stack layout and not inside it. So we'll cut those lines and paste them below the stack layout. Now, if we check the app, you can see it's now correctly laid out. However, the cards still need some work. Since both cards have similar characteristics, we'll create a card style that we can apply to both of them. So we'll head over to the Styles folder under the Resources folder, and in the Styles.xaml file, we'll scroll to the bottom and create a style. We'll set the target type to border and set the key to card. Inside the style, we'll add a property setter for the border's background color. We'll set it to white for light mode and gray 600 for dark mode. By the way, if you're wondering where these colors come from, they're defined for us in the colors.xaml file. We can also define our own colors here if we want. Back in our card style, we'll set the stroke to transparent, give it a padding of 16 on all sides, and set the stroke shape to round rectangle with a corner radius of 10. Now we can go back to the dashboard page and apply the style to our borders. We'll set the style property and point to our card style using the static resource markup extension. We'll do the same for the second card. Now if we run the app again, we should see our cards looking much better. In the next video, we'll work on the final section of the dashboard page.